Then we have called both AT&T and DOT. Each seems to blame the other for the problem and says that it's the other's responsibility to fix it. Obviously, they need to get together to plan a fix, but we don't have the leverage to bring that about. Can you help? Well, we sent Count on 10's Derek Copley to get some answers.
Just a big mess at this point.
Stuck in the mud.
Well, they seem to have concluded that each one concludes that it's the other's responsibility, so they're quite happy to leave it. And neither one is willing to step up and do anything.
DOT came out to the Clements home to install a French drain back in May. In the process, cut the phone line affecting all of Ken Clements' neighbors. When AT&T came out to repair the line, they had to dig up the French drains, leaving him
There we go.
in a sloppy situation. Running water across the street. The phone line exposed and the French drain in pieces.
It is very frustrating. Well, we thought that we had been unsuccessful in persuading them of what seemed perfectly obvious to us.
So I contacted AT&T's corporate office, and within an hour, an AT&T construction crew was getting down and dirty to clean up the mess.
This is fantastic. You got done in hours what we've been working on for weeks and couldn't get done.
What? AT&T is also installing new French drains. In Columbia, Derek Copley, WIS News 10.
Shane Wall wrote us saying his mother and father paid in full for their cemetery plots and markers. Her grave, after one whole year, has yet to receive her marker. News 10's Derek Copley found out why and when the family will get the headstone.
This is it right here. This is the pitiful mess. This is definitely not what my mother and my father paid for.
It's been 360 days since Mary Ann Wall passed away.
It is definitely much more painful because she died totally unexpectedly.
This is the first time her husband of 51 years, Hoover Wall, has come to the cemetery since her funeral. Her own daughters have not visited the gravesite because of the missing marker.
It feels as if we cannot properly honor my mother's life nor her death because there's really no closure here.
So we took the Walls' questions to Crestlawn Memorial Gardens. We're at the Crestview location. We were just wondering if we could come inside and talk to you about a couple things.
I don't know, this manager's not here now.
We're trying to get some answers for the family.
Well, she will be back in a little bit.
Okay, can we come wait inside?
No, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Even though the family's here? Hi. Once inside, the office manager, Jennifer Smith, called and spoke with the Wall family about the missing headstone.
It was an oversight, and it got misconstrued, but on the 9th of October, it is being shipped out.
I was told this same thing about 3 months ago that...
I just got off the phone with Kevin, and it is guaranteed to be shipped on the 9th.
I guess we just gonna have to wait.
Less than 2 weeks later, she called WIS and the Wall family to let us all know that the headstone was in.
It is here.
Adults, it's a debate over dreadlocks. And Midland's mother called WIS saying her son was asked not to return to a private school because of his hair. She calls it unfair. Now, as Derek Copley reports, the school says maybe his hair is okay after all.
9-year-old Christian Brown is spending his spring break with his uncle, Mike Davis, a former star running back for the Gamecocks. Earlier this year, the third grader decided to grow his hair out to look like his hero, Uncle Mike. But his hair recently became a tangling issue at his school, the Montessori Early Learning Center. And you want to keep your hair like this?
Yes.
Last week, the school contacted his mother about a new policy banning dreadlocks. She immediately had a meeting with Ina Fort, the school administrator.
When we first sat down and talked, her main thing is how she loved him. He's gifted, he's intelligent. He wouldn't be at that school if he wasn't. But with his hair right now, that's not the look of success.
Davis was appalled with the dreadlock decision. Christian has been attending the school for 4 years, making honor roll and never having any disciplinary problems.
I can have any job I want. My this kind of hair.
After their meeting, the single mom received this letter from the school. We no longer feel comfortable working with you and your child. Please make other arrangements for CJ after May 31st. The following day, the school sent home that new dress code policy to all parents to go into effect in the fall. I spoke with Ina Fort by phone about Davis's concerns. Fort said after doing more research, she changed her mind. In a statement, she says, we are removing the word dreadlocks from our new dress code policy for our new 9 to 12-year-olds class that begins in September 2010. It's the first draft of a new policy. This was not intentional.
The school administrator also says Christian can return to the monastery in the fall. Christian's mom says that she's still thinking about whether or not to send her son back to the school. Live in the newsroom, Derek Copley, WIS News 10.
Tonight, one of our viewers saw our story of an 81-year-old woman left with a mess. She paid $4,000 to have her house fixed, but the contractor's work was not good, and with nothing on paper, she cannot get him to fix it. Now a Camden man contacted News 10's Derek Copley. He's willing to lend a helping hand for free.
If you pull it back right here, it's basically just rotten wood, and it's wet from the last time it rained. This is pretty much the worst job I've seen in a while.
Mickey Anderson, a state licensed and insured contractor, says this work was not done by a contractor, but a con.
See right here where the wood's rotten? And this is pretty much a structural beam holding the part of the carport up.
Dolores Jackson is shocked as Anderson continued to point out mistakes.
And if it wasn't for WIS, I wouldn't be getting the help that I need.
It really hurts when I see shoddy work. And I wasn't suspecting this bad of work when I come here. You can see her windows here. I mean, they can't put the windows on because the metal's not bent properly. If I pull this down, they run short of material and basically just bent the metal wider just to cover up their mistakes.
Anderson also noted that 3 out of the 4 shutters were put on upside down. He says his biggest concern is the safety of Jackson's 81-year-old mother who lives in the house. Anderson says his team will have to start from scratch.
And basically it's to come in here, tear off everything they've done, and put it back the correct way.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. I sure appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Well, we're going to do everything we can to solve the problem.
Thank you.